All experience Utah Utes 2023 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Networks, brought to you by our very own Patreon. Yes, score exclusive perks, content, and contests, including our NFL win totals contest with a $1,000 prize. Join today, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app to get last-minute tickets at the lowest price guaranteed, all right? Use the promo code CFBX for $20 off. Once again, promo code CFBX for $20 off. We're also brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use the code DEGEN, D-E-G-N. I'm sorry, D-E-G-E-N. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on any college football bet. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the promo code DEGEN. That's D-E-G-E-N.
Hey, this is Derek Stevens. I'm the owner of Circa Las Vegas. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome. Welcome to the college football season experience. Utah Utes 2023 season preview. I've been doing so many damn previews getting ready for the season. I can barely talk, but I'm going to need to talk in this one because goddamn the Utah Utes have been fire lately. They've been two-time Pac-12 champ. And could they be three-time in the final year of the Pac-12, perhaps? Look, you're probably wondering who the hell you're listening to. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Here we are talking Ute football, and I love this program, Patty C.
You gotta love it. You know, Cam Rising might take old Dundee's advice there. Pretend that the ACL never happened.
Pretend.
And get on with his life.
Obviously, the storyline of this offseason, especially after their backup projected second string tore his ACL as well. But, buddy, Kyle Whittingham has been battling adversity. Talk about they never get any respect, buddy. And he's 154-74 as a head coach at Utah, including Patty C. Let me just make sure my math is correct. 7 double-digit win seasons. 7. 1-0 all-time against Nick Saban.
That's a pretty nice flex.
Yeah, it is. And look, I think he's also 2-0 against Jim Harbaugh. Talk to me. Where do you put him? Where do you put him? I'm sorry. Let me introduce you first. I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for former JMU Duke defensive back, the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi-oh.
Let's get it going. Back to the days of Scott Mitchell.
Yeah, buddy.
Alex Smith. Brian Johnson, new offensive coordinator at Philadelphia Eagles.
There you go.
All right, they got guys. Cam Rising next in line.
What about some I'm going to take a peek here. A little Zach Moss.
Zach Moss. There you go.
Chris Fuamata-Mafalu.
How about Jamal Anderson, buddy? Went to the Super Bowl with the old Falcons in the late 90s.
There you go. The Utes.
Steve Smith, though, or wideout from the Panthers.
Okay.
Yeah, they got guys.
The Utes crank out some talent.
Buddy, where would you put, as I was just about to ask you, where would you put Utah in the pecking order for Kyle Whittingham, that is, in the pecking order of head coaches?
You know, at this point, from like a career accomplishments standpoint, you know, and the fact that he's still kind of in his prime. In fact, he's thinking. You said that, right? You heard quotes of him saying that he thinks that this is potentially his best team
on the line of scrimmage. He said by far the best team he's ever had.
That's a bold statement because they've been a tough football team in the trenches for a long time.
Yeah, and he's killing it right now. So, I mean, is he a top 10 coach?
He's a top 10 coach. Look, if they have a great year and Cam Rising recovers from that injury fully and, you know, hits the ground running at full speed into the season, he may have an opportunity to go 3-0 against Harbaugh because we'll see him in the playoffs.
Or Saban.
Or
2-0 against him, perhaps. Look, you play for the New Orleans Breakers, Patty C. This is a former USFL. So subscribe to the USFL Gambling Podcast.
Say no more.
Yes. We're going to talk all about the 2023 Utah Utes. We're going to break down the offense, the defense, the special teams, how they did in the transfer portal, because you got to grade that in 2023. And then we're going to go game by game on the schedule, talking about what we see the Utes doing. Hopefully you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. Because we also host, not only is it the college football experience, we also host the college basketball experience, the college baseball experience, the Big 12 experience, which obviously Utah joining the Big 12 next year. Also the FCS college football experience. So maybe you're a Southern Utah fan, the Thunderbirds and Zion or Dixie State, aka Utah Techs, and Weber State. They don't got some nice schools there playing good football.
They play.
Yeah.
I would say Utah as a state probably has a higher win percentage than maybe any other state.
It might be.
It's that Rocky Mountain workout there.
Something's in the water there. So subscribe to all those, solo podcasts or separate podcasts. You know what I mean? So I think you'll dig all of them. Obviously, here on the College Football Experience, we break down all 133 teams. We handicap and talk about every single game that's played in the FBS. We've been doing this shit for years, so check us out. We come together as one. All those feeds come together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. But I want to tell you folks out there that the College Football Experience, Utah Utes 2023 season preview is brought to you by DraftKings. Yes, you've waited all year long, and the time has finally arrived. College football is back, and so are the traditions that make this sport so great. All right? All the traditions, the tailgates. And with that comes the great offers from DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, new customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on any college football bet. All right? Look, I already talked about this. I like the over in that San Jose State USC game, week 0. And damn it, if Cam Rising's playing, I like Utah to beat the Florida Gators. I don't know about the points. Depends on. I need to know about his status. But look, just get over there. Kick off the season with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now. Use the promo code DGEN. That's DEGEN. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on any college football bet. Only on the DraftKings Sportsbook with the promo code DGEN. Once again, gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER in New York, 887-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net in partnership with Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. All games regulated by the West Virginia Lottery. Play responsibly. In Connecticut, help is available. Problem with gambling, call 888-789-777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 or older in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.com. sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Yes, folks, buying tickets to your favorite events shouldn't be stressful. Take Rice Eccles, for example, which Michael Barker, College Football Camp Store, is going to talk about in a little bit here. But that place, they're 19-0 in their last 19 games, Patty C.
They get it done.
That place rocks. So you don't want to be that bozo that says, "Oh, I'll just get tickets at the tailgate."
Yeah, just because
You
they
know?
add a few thousand seats there,
Yeah.
they're trying to make that stadium elite, but that just is going to attract even more fans.
And
You
that's what I'm
can't
saying.
win if you're trying to get that last minute ticket.
And you can win, though, if you're trying to get that last minute ticket with
Why is
Game
that?
Time.
Oh,
Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all, whether it's sports, music, comedy, theater, anytime it's near you, all right? With killer details on last-minute tickets in their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hype for the fun you'll be having at that very event. Forget planning months in advance. Look at the divorce rate, all right? How'd that months in advance work out for them, all right? I'm joking.
you're
but
talking to the people in Utah. I don't think that applies quite as much.
That's true. Okay, well, you know what I mean. Look at there's a lot. Look at the XFL 2.0. All right?
Yeah.
Not 3.0.
You try and plan, the whole world shuts
Look,
down.
Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event. Get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. The Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, get this. Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. That's fantastic. Snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use the promo code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, terms apply. Once again, create that account. Redeem the code CFBX. $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, we are back on the college football experience. Utah Utes 2023 season preview. Boy, oh boy, let's talk a little bit about the transfer portal, Patty C, because it's batshit crazy in 2023. So parting, you got to grade it. I feel like you got to, unless you're Army, Navy, Air Force, you got to be able to sit there and say, I want to grade this thing.
Yeah.
I want to see if they did good things in the offseason. So departing, offensive lineman Jackson Garcia, gone. Still in the portal, apparently. Offensive tackle Tyler Knack heads out to Matt Rule and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Quarterback Luke Batari heads out to the California Golden Bears. Going to go drop acid with those hippies. All right. Tight end Devin Johnson's in the portal. Wide receiver Taquan Gilmore is in the portal. Wide receiver Chris Reed is in the portal. Safety Jaden Pearson is in the portal. They haven't landed anywhere. I'll mention it. Safety Clayton Isabel in the portal. Linebacker, 4-star transfer here.
Isabel, a little bit of a loss.
Yeah?
16th on the team in tackles. Contributor.
Okay. Well, how about this one? 4-star transfer, according to 24/7 Sport. Andrew Matafa heads out to the South Florida Bulls, and Alex Galesh going to Tampa. And then we got to talk about this one. Offensive lineman Paul Melee goes to BYU. Fucking disgusting. Just disgusting. I got something for that. When I see something like that, and I know it's like the Schembeckler thing, and Whittingham went to BYU, but
it's got to make you puke. Yeah.
Running back Ricky Parks. He's in the portal. Hasn't landed anywhere yet.
Is that Money Parks?
Money Parks. Tight end Landon Morris heads out to the Temple Owls. Who could have a nice little passing attack with EJ Warner, son of Kurt Warner. Linebacker Mason Tufaga heads out to the Oregon State Beavers. I think he's projected to start over there. Defensive end Tyler Weggis heads out to the Boise State Broncos. Linebacker Ethan Calvert. This is a 4-star transfer, Patty C. Goes to the Cal Poly Mustangs. They got a 5-star quarterback and a 4-star defense. What the hell's going on in San Luis Obispo?
It's that Madden money.
Yeah, that Madden money
is
comes
going
in
fast in the NIL.
Linebacker Lawani Langi is in the portal. Cornerback Malone Matale heads out to Utah State. Ooh. Oh, with the Aggies. Offensive tackle Simi Maloa also goes to BYU. What the hell's going on in the world? All right. Patty C, incoming. Buckle up, buddy. Stanford linebacker, 4-star transfer. According to 24/7 Sports, this is a huge get. Lavani Damuni from Stanford coming into Utah.
Nice.
Probably their best defensive player, I hear.
Wow.
Defensive end, 4-star transfer as well, Patty C. From the BYU Cougars, Logan Fanu. I mean, what the hell's going on here? But I mean, that's a great get. If you're a fan of this team, you're like, okay.
Yeah, no doubt.
It gets bigger. You ready for the next one? Cornerback, 4-star transfer according to 24/7 Sport. Miles Battle from Ole Miss coming in.
Oh yeah, that's supposed to be a big one.
Yeah. Kicker from the Colorado Buffaloes, Cole Becker. This guy's good. I watch Colorado football. He's good. Wide receiver, Emery Simmons, 3-star from Indiana, the Hoosiers. I think he might have started for Indiana.
Okay.
USC safety, Britton Allen. Disgusting. We just talked about this.
Speaking of Britons, they're going to miss Britton Covey.
They are. How about this? Wide receiver Micah Pittman from the Florida State Seminoles, Patty C. And Auburn tight end Landon King coming into Utah. Patty C, did they win or lose the portal? I'm going to say they won it.
You know, I would say getting the Ole Miss defensive back is big, but
I think getting the Logan Fanu at the DN spot and then Lavani Dumuni at the linebacker spot, they got, and even the kicker, they got some key guys. I feel like all those guys they got are going to play.
They had 2 guys in the top 5 in the country in interception return yards. Clark Phillips, who was drafted, and RJ Hubert. Those guys get the ball and they make house calls with the ball. So It's nice to be able to replenish that. Yeah, you replenish the defensive front. This defense was already pretty darn good last year, and you bolster it even more. And then you combine that with what Kyle Whittingham said about his offensive line. It all really does come down to Cam Rising being healthy. But, yes, to answer your question, it sounds like a little bit of a push in the transfer portal, but maybe they improve slightly.
I think slight win.
Yeah.
Scoring offense a season ago for Andy Ludwig, who, by the way, turned down Notre Dame to come back to Utah.
Wow.
I like it. Think he's bullish on his team
to
turn down Notre Dame.
And I think the Notre Dame administration, Andy Ludwig was Marcus Freeman's hand-picked, successor to Tommy Rees, and Notre Dame, I think, lowballed him. And so I don't know but who knows if Andy Ludwig sees Utah as a better opportunity to springboard his head coaching career.
Whittingham's 63.
Or maybe he just takes
over.
What if
Whittingham's just like, hey, this is your next gig?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Scoring offense, 11th in the nation for Andy Ludwig a season ago. Rush offense, 11th in the nation, Patty C. Passing offense, 49th, top 50 in both rushing and passing, charting at the 17th best offense in America. And guess what? They returned Cameron Rising. But as I alluded to, they are going to have to figure out the backup quarterback spot with an injury. But that's really the X factor. Cameron Rising is a stud, but and he's a legitimate Heisman contender. But you got to wonder where he's at with that.
Yeah.
Nate Johnson, though, is a guy I know they're excited about. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Nate Johnson, a nice 36 adjusted yards per attempt last year, 1 completion, 1 touchdown for 16 yards. So, fortunately, even though Tavion Thomas, the team's leading rusher, leaves.
So here's the thing, though, is if they have to, I don't worry about the running back spot because, but let's say Rising can't go.
Yeah.
Brandon Rose, the backup, tore his ACL. So it would be their 3rd string. Bryson Barnes would be the starter, him or Nate Johnson. That makes it tricky. And
it does.
The running back spot, Patty C, I don't worry because Micah Bernard is still there.
Yeah. Quentin Jackson's still there.
Yeah, both those guys are studs.
Yeah. Number 2 and 3 leading rushers on the team last year. Cam Rising, number 4 leading rusher on the team. That guy can move.
He's got wheels, yeah. Well, that's why it's so pivotal to not rush him back in a way.
Yeah. But
the schedule doesn't give you a lot of opportunity because even week 2 is Baylor in Waco. But look, everyone talks about, what they lost with Kincaid, that great Chuck Norris movie. But Kuithe, Brant Kuithe was like the guy that everyone was talking about a year ago. Kincaid was a San Diego transfer in the FCS from the Pioneer League.
Yeah.
So getting Kuithe back is
Utah
huge.
is one of these teams that makes tight ends look phenomenal. And they have a good eye for him, and they attract good tight ends.
Dude, Kincaid, what did he have? Like, I feel like he had 30 catches against USC. USC could not stop him in the Salt Lake City game. They could not stop that dude.
Yeah. They made him look phenomenal.
Every play they would just throw it to him.
Kincaid was a first-round draft pick for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah,
number 25.
Patty C, the wide receiver room is deeper.
Kuithe, how do you pronounce the name?
Brant Kuithe.
Kuithe, 3-time second team All Pac-12.
That's what I'm saying.
So you're right.
No, last year, like everyone was saying, he was going to be the first round draft pick. He gets injured, and then Kincaid comes out of nowhere.
Hey.
The wide receiver position, DeVaughn Vele is back at the wide receiver spot. They also have Monty Parks that will be playing, and also like I just think they're deeper at the wide receiver position. Emery Simmons comes in from Indiana. They also get Pittman from and Landon King. I feel like they're a little bit deeper at the wide receiver position, despite losing what's my guy's name? No, but they lost him 2 years ago, didn't they? They lost the other guy 2 years ago, buddy.
Covey, you're right.
You're
right. That's right. He was gone after the first Rose Bowl.
Yeah. So, but also keep an eye on the other tight end, Thomas Yassmin, a senior. Keep an eye out there. They're tight end factory. They're Iowa of the West.
Yeah. Vele, also a solid punt return, number 20 in the nation, 9.5 yards per return. It's funny, there are some just super elite punt returners, but Vele, they produce pretty good special teams, and you've mentioned that as like a hallmark of like a good coach.
Yeah,
and Winningham falls certainly in that category.
Well, they returned 3 of 5 on the offensive line, but get this, the left tackle, that's one of the newcomers. His name is Falcon Kamatu Tule.
They got that Hawaiian, Samoan,
well, check this
Polynesian pipeline.
If you're panicking on him being a newcomer, don't worry, because the guy's played in 22 games. All right. So there's that. They also are counting on Jaron Crump, a guy who started 11 games at the center spot. So you can argue that in a way, it's almost like having 5 of 5 back on the O-line, Patty C. Cole Becker, the kicker from Colorado. Like I said, he was solid at Colorado. The defensive side of the ball for Morgan Scully, 26th in scoring defense a season ago, Patty C. 17th in rush defense, 60th in pass defense, charting at the 26th best defense in America. Patty C, this is where I know Whittingham is very, very bullish on his team here because they return 9 defensive starters and they add in some key transfers. So the entire front 7 is back. Tez Johnson, also a redshirt freshman who played in 4 games, is who they're counting on in the nickelback spot. The secondary, Zamaya Vaughn is another guy. Jatravis Broughton is a guy that is penciled in to start and return. Ciano Vaki and Cole Bishop as well. Patty C, let's just talk about this for a second. Well, because this defense might be really good because you also add in the Stanford guy, the Stanford transfer that's going to play substantial minutes. They have a lot of all Pac-12 guys. When I look at the sheet right here, I just see Kareem Reed, second team all Pac-12, Lander Barton. They have just guys.
Yeah, I got to do
very
a little bit of a deep dive on Whittingham, obviously a defensive specialist, what he's doing, because you think of him as like the hard-nosed kind of like maybe not dialing up exotic things kind of coach and just not giving up a blade of grass. But his team is generating turnovers, and they do, so maybe he's a little more exotic than I want to give him credit for. But, this is a tough defense regardless, and returning their entire front 7 on the number 26 defense in the nation.
Bringing back 9.
Yeah, and you talk about having one of your best offensive lines of all times. The iron sharpening iron in the trenches every day in practice has to be a nice thing for them.
So let me ask you this. Will the offense be better than 17th in the nation like it was last year? I think it might regress with Rising's health, but it's certainly possible with the offensive line. And I do think they're deeper at wideout this year.
Yeah, probably. I mean, look, Tavion Thomas I thought was a good running back. 4.8 yards per rush, though, but Bernard and Jackson, 5.0 and 6.8, respectively.
Bernard was a stud a couple years ago. He got injured.
Yeah. So they'll probably be fine at running back. Wide receiver.
No, they're deeper at wideout this year than last year.
Yeah. I mean, if it all comes down to Rising.
Yeah. The defense, Patty C, was 26 a season ago. I just want to go ahead and say they're going to be better than 26.
Yeah, I mean, that even sounds kind of low for a Kyle Whittingham coach team.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and check some of their previous rankings, but I imagine they're typically a little higher than that.
Well, look, we're going to talk about all of this, but we're gonna go game by game on the schedule essentially, and we're gonna project where the Utah Utes will fall in 2023. Obviously, the Cam Rising thing pending is a big deal for us, projecting, but we'll try our best to make our predictions there. We're also going to talk to Michael Barker, aka College Football Campus Tour, about his experiences to Salt Lake City and Rice Eccles Stadium. But before we do all that, I want to tell you that the Utah Utes 2023 season preview is brought to you by Factor. Yes, with the busy fall season just right around the corner, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for jam-packed days. Look, I'm previewing 133 teams. I could use someone making me some meals instead of me running out and grabbing a quick burger or something from a fast food joint. Look, Factor is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, and it can help you, fuel up super fast with chef-prepared dietitian approved ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. Because look at that, I get it. We're all busy. Sometimes you don't have the time to cook. You don't have the time. And if you do you're eating unhealthy shit. So this is what's perfect about that. Head over to factormeals.com/SGPN50 and use the promo code SGPN50 to get 50% off. Once again, that's code SGPN50 at factormeals.com/SGPN50 to get 50% off. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, the NFL season is right around the corner, and Underdog Pick'em. Underdog NFL Pick'em is a great way to get down on your favorite over and under picks. They even got college football as well as they even got NFL preseason, folks. So hop on over there and do that. And of course, make sure you enter the Best Ball Mania where first place gets $3 million. Look, I can tell you this, folks. Underdog pick I like week 1. Give me Jacksonville State to beat Utah. Week 0.
Boom.
Let's go. Let's do it. Rich Rodriguez. Head over to UnderdogFantasy.com. Use that promo code SGPN for 100% deposit bonus up to $100. Once again, UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. All right, we are back, Patty C. And I know, we normally have the sweet graphics. We still got Utah graphics. We're rocking Utah graphics. It's just not homemade here. This is just Old Faithful. The win total is sitting at 8.5, Patty C. Is that insulting to Kyle Whittingham, you think?
That absolutely should be,
The last 4 full seasons, throw out the COVID year.
Yeah, they've managed 10.
And they've lost the bowl games. So they did this in the regular season.
Well,
9,
I guess you could
11,
say
10.
Well, I think last year would have been 9 and
still cashing.
3.
Still cashing.
Yeah, because they got the Pac-12 championship. So
either
way, still cashing. You're correct. Now the Pac-12 is a little more loaded.
I mean, honestly, since 2014, he's only had 1 year where he didn't hit 9.
Yeah, he's a great coach, and obviously 2008 stands out as the one really special.
They won
year.
a national championship then.
Yeah, AP postseason #2, but 13-0 and beat Nick Saban in pretty resounding fashion. They should have been included in the playoffs. They might have been the best team in the country that year. Kyle Whittingham might have had a national championship.
No,
maybe
he does have a national championship.
Yeah, he does. Right.
And look, in 2004, they also won a national championship too. But 2008's actually been claimed, Petty C.
Really?
2004 is what we got to get claimed.
Yeah, there we go. Let's get
2008's actually been claimed.
Hang the banner.
Yeah. Buddy, so let's hop into the schedule because in my opinion, I feel very confidently that this is the hardest schedule in America.
Let us take a look because
week 1, they are hosting the Florida Gators.
Now, these Gators obviously proved to be a challenge last year, but
bowl team, but lost in the bowl, got whooped by Oregon State.
That was, in Florida, made a difference. And look,
this is a huge game with Cameron Rising.
Yeah.
I'm saying, we need to know his health.
They have to have him for this one because this is the exact kind of game that screws Utah and as a result screws the entirety of the Pac-12 and probably
I think it's
cost the Pac-12 its entire existence.
No, I think they'll beat Florida. The Pac-12 actually kind of handles their own against the SEC, believe it or not, when they come to the West.
That's true.
So I think they beat Florida on Thursday, August 31st. I can't wait to watch that game.
Yeah.
But it's the very next week that scares the piss out of me.
Yeah.
Future Big 12 matchup as Utah heads into Waco. I have them losing in Waco. I just don't think they can win both of those to open your season. That's fucking insane, by the way. You have a 9-game conference schedule.
Yeah.
Compare that to Georgia's, right?
Yeah.
You have a 9-game conference schedule.
Yeah.
And you schedule Florida and Baylor.
Florida is probably the second hardest team on Georgia's schedule.
Yeah.
And they're like the 8th hardest team on Utah's schedule.
It's just insane. So I got them going 1-1 in the first 2. How about you?
I think they go 2-0, but it could easily be 1-1.
Well, then you want to get even stupider?
Yeah.
They're hosting Weber State, an FCS an FCS playoff team, almost like an FCS blue blood.
10-3 last year.
Hold on. Do you know what they did though in 10-3?
Huh.
They played the Mountain West champion Utah State. So Mountain West champion 2 years ago was Utah State. You know what they did to Utah State at Maverick Stadium?
I got it pulled up. 35-7. Rocked them.
This team is very good, man.
Put it on beat Montana.
Dude, all of their losses were by like 5 points and 3 points. Look at this. They almost went undefeated last year.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's what I mean. This schedule's insane. They're going to beat Weber, but don't come out and fuck around because Weber will. They're going to be good again.
Yeah, that's not one where you can just go to sleep, unfortunately, for Utah.
Okay, then the following week, Chip Kelly comes to Salt Lake City. They're not winning in Salt Lake City.
No,
the freshman quarterback.
No, they're not.
So you got them, what, 4-0?
4-0.
I got them 3-1. And now on a Friday night, top 10, they're going to head up to Corvallis. Patty C, you want to guarantee? I guarantee you they don't win this game in Corvallis.
I don't know. These are two similar teams. Very tough
This place
defensively.
is going to burn down. A top 10 team. And now you add in the fact that they're left out. They're not good enough to go to the Big 12, the Pac, or the Big 10 or the SEC. This is going to burn down.
Utah, a team they undoubtedly invited in with a vote, is now leaving them for greener pastures. That's a slap in the face. Yeah, maybe Oregon State does get them, but I'll say this. I'll take a composite of a few games that they could potentially lose. Right now, I'm going to give Utah a win here, but
what?
I don't know.
It's too many tough opponents.
Oregon State is what you said, like a 10-win team.
Yes.
Now they got DJU.
Last time they went to Corvallis 2 years ago, Utah lost.
Maybe I'll give them a loss here.
It's got to be one of these teams.
Yeah. Well, it might as well be.
They're basically
on a
playing,
Friday night national.
Let's look at this right here. They're basically playing 4 bowl teams and Weber State, who's an FCS playoff team.
Yeah, they have a loss by now. You're right. You're right.
They get a bye week. Then they're hosting the California Golden Bears. That should be a win.
Yeah. They get them at home. That's nice.
I have them with 2 losses.
Yeah,
so I have them at 4-2 right here after the Cal Golden Bear game.
I'll keep them at 5-1.
Then they head to the Coliseum to take on USC, Patty C.
They throttled them 47-24 in Allegiant Stadium, which is a pretty similar venue, I guess, in terms of ideal conditions that the Coliseum presents.
I'll take USC on the revenge.
I guess I will too, but why?
Isn't Cam Rising from LA too? So it's like,
well, here's the thing: is like you knock on the door, door again, and then the third time is usually the time they got to the Rose Bowl twice. It's kind of their destiny to win it this year on their way out of the Pac-12. But they have to go to LA. They have to go to the Coliseum. So I got to lean USC. I don't know why though.
4 of the last 6, Utah's won
against USC.
Yeah.
How many of those were in the Coliseum though?
They're 1-1 in their last 2. So 2 of the last 6 were there.
Okay.
But how about this? The last 3 times, check out the last 3 times. Ready?
Yeah.
The last 3 times in the Coliseum, they won 42-26, 16-point win. They lost 30-23, so 7-point game. And they lost 28-27 because they went for 2.
Going to the Coliseum is not the be-all, end-all situation there.
That's gonna be fun. I'll say loss. That's my third loss though, buddy.
That's my second.
So I can't afford another loss. The Oregon Ducks come the very next week to Rice Eccles.
They'll get slapped.
Yeah. Oregon's gonna get fucked up there.
I mean, that was a good game. What was the score of that one last year? That was a 3-point loss. Little revenge spot. That was in Autzen.
Yeah. They're not gonna go into Salt Lake City and win.
No.
Then Arizona State comes on November 4th to not Autzen, I'm sorry, Rice Eccles. To Rice Eccles. They're not gonna win.
No. Yeah. So you have them at what, 6-3?
And here's the hard part here.
Yeah.
They go to Seattle. I got them losing
8 and no, you got them with 4 losses here.
Then they're back-to-back away. They're at Arizona. They win. Then they're home to Colorado in primetime. They win.
What do they do?
This schedule's insane, man. I feel like
yeah, it's freaking brutal.
Here's the thing, though. Because they lose to either Baylor or I have them losing to Baylor, will 3 losses get you to the Pac-12 championship? Because it could.
Yeah, because that's non-con. It very well could. It all kind of depends.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole top half of that conference finished in the top 21 last year.
Okay. Let me ask you something. Can you blindly tell me, like, who's better between those like top? They have what, 5 teams with a win total of 9 of above or 8.5 and above.
Yeah,
that's insane. First off, that's the only conference in America that does that. And like,
well, last year USC 11-3, Washington 11-2, Oregon 10-3, Utah 10-4, Oregon State 10-3, and then you throw in UCLA 9-4.
Wazoo 7 wins too.
Yeah, that is a very tough to distinguish top of the conference or half of the conference.
So wait, you're going over though?
So
8.5. I think 9-3.
I think I would have them losing at Washington too, but yeah, I think I'm going 9-3.
Dude, the road trips are fucking brutal. Let me break down these road trips: Waco, Texas.
Yeah.
Corvallis.
Yeah.
USC.
Mm-hmm.
At Washington.
Yeah.
And then that's a back-to-back away at Arizona. So even the Arizona game
is no cakewalk
because it's a sneaky spot. This is going to be fascinating to watch this. I'm on the I don't feel good about this play because Whittingham is going to make me look like a fucking fool.
But
he never just wins 8 games.
Putting Florida, Baylor, and Weber State as your
what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
You are in a position. You have the roster right now.
If you give them Michigan's schedule, they're in the playoffs, right?
Yes.
They probably lose to Ohio State and beat Penn State, and they're 11-1, and they play in the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, although they did just lose to Penn State in the bowl game.
Vice versa, maybe. Who cares?
But Cam Rising was out for a portion of that, and even more so against Georgia. I think Tennessee. Going to Tennessee would be a tough game, but they win every other game on that schedule. Now we'll see what they do against Florida, but we're predicting that they beat Florida. So yeah, I think if they had Georgia's schedule, we'd see them in the playoff and that'd be guaranteed.
They're going to have 3 or 4 losses. You're going over though?
Yeah, I guess just based on history, but I don't feel good about this at all.
Yeah, I don't feel good about me going under. I feel like I can't wait to watch this season though.
Yeah.
Folks, look, before we get out of here, we got Michael Barker, a.k.a. College Football Campus Tour, to talk about his experiences in Rice Eccles. So with no further ado, here is that interview with Michael. Joining me on the College Football Experience Utah Utes 2023 Season Preview is none other than Michael Barker, a.k.a. College Football Campus Tour. And you're probably wondering what that is. Oh, Michael runs a Twitter page at CFB Campus Tour, where he documents all of his travels. And let me tell you about all of his travels. He's been to all 133 college football stadiums, a lot of them multiple times. He's been to a lot of the FCS, a lot of D2, D3, and he documents all of his travels, which sometimes 5, 6, 7 games a week is what Michael's doing. Michael, I appreciate you hopping on the show. Talk a little Utah football and Rice Eccles Stadium, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Colby. This personally is a special stadium for me. In 2021, it was my 130th and final game to be one of the few people in the world that's seen a game at all 130 FBS stadiums. So great memories of Rice Eccles.
And they've created a lot of great memories themselves, the Utah Utes, because I want to say they're 19-0 in their last 19 games at Rice Eccles. The crowd is unbelievable. I know they're at the elevation that's sneaky high. And, all of a sudden, I feel like 30 years ago, Utah was just decent. But, man, the past 20 years have been dominance on the football field, maybe even a little bit more than 20 years. But talk to me about the history of the stadium.
So they've been playing on the same site since 1927. From 1927 to 1997, it was called Rice Stadium. But they essentially tore the whole thing down after the 97 season, rebuilt the stadium, changed the name to Rice-Eccles Stadium. So it officially opened. The new version in 1998 has 51,000 seat capacity. Eccles is Spencer Eccles. He's a grad and chairman of First Security Bank. He donated $10 million towards the stadium project. So it became Rice-Eccles Stadium. It was the main stadium for the 2002 Winter Olympics. Also the opening and closing ceremonies. It was temporarily named during the games Rice-Eccles Olympic Stadium. And outside the stadium, you can still see the Olympic Cauldron Park. It remains on the exterior. And the biggest crowd they ever had was a huge game last year, big impact on the college football playoff, 53,609 versus USC, and they beat number 7 USC 43-42.
That game was insane. I watched it here in the studio. That game was absolutely insane. Their fans are fantastic. It just seems like the perfect college football experience. I know they got a week 1 matchup on a Thursday night against Florida that I'm sure that place will be bonkers. But tell me, how many times you've been here, man?
So I mentioned that I went there in 2021. That's the only game that I saw. It was the regular season finale. They played Colorado. They beat them at 28-13. Very cold, typical November Colorado or Utah weather. But what's cool about that stadium is if you get on the home side, on the outside, you can see the Olympic Park Cauldron. You can see all that. But beyond the roadside bleachers, you got amazing views of the mountains and the foothills. And so, you just grab a seat at the top of the stadium, look to your left, you got some great football. Look to your right, you got some amazing views. So I'm hoping to get my second game back at Rice-Eccles sometime here in the near future.
Hell yeah. I mean, and I like the fact that they've been playing on the same field, I guess, since 1927. That seems pretty awesome. Well, folks, get on over to Twitter and give Michael a follow because, like I said, he's been to every stadium. He documents. He does the photo of the game, which looks really professionally done. And then he documents the statues outside of the stadium, the history of the stadium. It is just a must follow. Michael, I appreciate you hopping on the show, talk a little Rice-Eccles in Utah, and perhaps one day I'll see you there, man.
Yeah, this is a good one. I wish I could be at that Thursday night opener. It looks like an amazing game, but sometime in the future we'll make that happen.
For sure. Appreciate you hopping on the show, and I'm looking forward to seeing the travels this fall because I'm sure it's insane.
I can't wait. 8 days. We got 8 days, so I can't wait.
There we go. Take care, man, and appreciate you hopping on.
Thank you.
Michael Barker, Rice-Eccles Stadium, Patty C, one of the toughest places to grab a win lately in college football.
Salt Lake City, a great town.
You got Provo not far away.
It's beautiful.
That rivalry's going to be back. That's the only good thing I like about this Big 12 move.
Oh, it's going to be freaking excellent.
BYU, Utah should be in the same conference. I want them playing every year the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. You know what?
The day after Thanksgiving every year.
That's where it should be.
Yeah.
Black Friday in the Holy War. Look, Utah, even if they don't win the Pac-12 and get that third straight Rose Bowl appearance, which would be in the college football playoff, the Fiesta Bowl, very possible. A nice little landing spot that feels right for them and might be a staple of their Big 12, because they're going to be one of the best teams in the Big 12 moving forward. Maybe they going to be the best team coming in?
Kansas State jumped to, I don't know, TCU in the mix too.
Yeah. It's funny because this is a great argument for you saying recruiting rankings are overrated. Kansas State, number 70 in the conference or the national composite talent rankings. Utah, number 33. TCU, number 32. All these teams are way out. Maybe just non-glamour programs get severely underrated from a talent standpoint. I don't think that's
TCU. I think it's I don't have it in front of me, but I think it's like they've won I feel like 8 of 9 against Texas or something crazy like that. So it's like, Texas always gets better recruiting. It's a sham. It's all a sham, folks. But it's not a sham. The college football experience. Look, Patty C's on the over. I'm on the under, and I I don't know. I don't feel good about it because Whittingham's a fucking genius. All right.
Yeah.
But folks, we're here all year rocking. So subscribe, give us a follow on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Patty C is on Twitter at PattyC831. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. And remember, you can watch this live on YouTube, youtube.com/The College Experience. And that's the hub for all of our college football. For all of our podcasts, essentially. The college football experience, the FCS college football experience, the college basketball experience, the college baseball experience, the Big 12 experience. Got to get over there and check all that stuff out. Go to youtube.com/The College Experience. Thank me later.
Yeah.
Folks, also check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. They're breaking down all 32 NFL teams if that's your cup of tea. And the SGPN app is free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store. Hop on over to the Discord. Talk you sports with us. I mean, shit. Come on. Let's go. Sports
Talk about this beautiful logo here.
Discord. Yes, this is a great logo. This is a very classic logo right there.
Native American imagery in sports. Freaking beautiful.
The Redskins name needs to come back because I completely agree with the current movement right now on the fact of bringing that back because I think Native American culture needs to stay relevant in our society.
Yeah. We're Irish guys, right?
So the Chiefs, the Braves, I think that all that shit.
It's a symbol that you are accepted in culture and that, that you're part of it, right?
Yeah.
And so the Utah Utes embrace it. The Ute tribe embraces it. We think that that's amazing, and they have some great uniforms. Have you seen they're all blacks that they're bringing out this year?
I have. They're fantastic.
I wonder what game they're going to bring those out in.
Can't wait to see the whole season, folks. And we'll be here all year rocking. Until next time, this is the College Football Experience, Utah Ute style. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.